For this project, you will need a yarn of your choice. So I'm going to be using this gray acrylic yarn. And with this, I'm going to be using a 3.5 sized hook. You will need a yarn needle and a pair of scissors. To begin, grab your yarn and we're going to make a slip knot. Make a loop right here, hold on to that, go into the loop and grab the long yarn and pull, and that's your slip knot. Take your hook, insert into the loop and tighten it, and we will chain 15. So yarn over, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So after you've chained 15, we will start to do single crochets into each chain. So we're going to be starting from the second chain from the hook. So not the one that the hook is in, but the second right here. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. We'll repeat the same thing in each chain. So go into the next chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through, and continue to do the same. So into the chain, pull up a loop, and this is our last single crochet. And you can always double check your work. So now you should have 14 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 single crochets across. So from here, we will chain 1, yarn over, pull through, and we're going to turn our work and do single crochets again. But this time we're going to be working in the back loops only. So you can see in here this chain. So this is the front and this is the back. So instead of going through the full chain like this, we will go in through the back loop only, like so. Okay, so we'll start from not this chain, but from the first single crochet right here. So go into the back loop only, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through, and again back loop only. Go into the next single crochet, back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through, and continue this until the end. And now we're at our last single crochet, so back loop only, yarn over, pull through, and again to start the next row we will chain 1, turn our work, and again you can always double check your work to make sure you have 14 stitches. This very first one doesn't count, but because it was the chain 1 that we did to turn. So 14 single crochets and keep going. And what gives these ridge-like look is doing the single crochets in back loops only. So if you did it with the whole stitch, which you could, you just wouldn't have these ridges. So that's what we're doing, back loops only. So continue this until you reach the size that will make a hat. Now I'm working on the last row. In total I've made 14 rows. So last single crochet. And here I've made 14 rows. You can count your rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ridges. 7 times 2 equals 14. So that's how you find out and track your rows. And for me, this is 7 by 6 centimeters. So if that helps you to gauge how big or small your hat will be depending on thickness of your yarn and the size of your hook. But for me, this is the size it came out. So from here, I'm going to chain 1 and pull the yarn, cut this piece off, and just pull the big yarn out. So you're left with this. Now you're going to take your yarn needle, pull through, and we'll just sew up the sides. So going from here into this corner and pull. Now we go through the next. So same thing, so into the next, grab and pull. And do this all the way up. Like so. So let's do the last one here. And just ignore the other piece for now. So from here, we're going to make the top of the hat and we're going to scrunch it up. So the way you do this is just from the top loops, you go in and out. This. Let's go back in and back out. Just from the top loops. And again. And back out. And in. Out. Like so, and now you can just pull on it. And it will just close the hole, like so. Now I'll just sew back and forth just to make sure it's really secure. Like this, there's not really right or wrong way, just sew up the top. And I'm just going to tie these two together to make it easier. Make 2 knots. Like this, and I'll just cut off both pieces. Okay, so now we can turn the hat inside out. And this is what it looks like right now, and you just fold up the brim like so, and that's your tiny little hat. To make the pom-pom, this is the easiest way I've found, using a fork. So you can either use a fork or your 2 fingers, and we're going to be wrapping around yarn, whatever color you want your pom-pom to be. I'll just do gray to keep it simple. And I'm just going to wrap around this fork a few times. The more you do it, the bigger the pom-pom will be. Okay, so I did around 22. And now you want to grab another piece of yarn, maybe about this long. And we're going to put it through the middle like this. And pull it on this side. Put the fork down. And we'll just tie it right here to secure it. Tie it really tight. You can take it out. And I'm going to wrap the same yarn a few times to make sure, and tie it again. So now you can see, I'm trying to separate it to show you. Now you can see these two, looks like a bow almost. So you can see these two sides that have loops right here. There's two loops, 1, 2, and we're going to cut through here and cut through here. So grab your scissors, and I'm going to go through this side all the way and cut. Do the same on the other side. Grab like this and cut. We have these long pieces, you can also just cut those off. And now it doesn't look very pretty, but we're going to work on it. So we can fluff it up like this, and we're going to shape it by cutting around it like this. Just cut off any long pieces, try to make it into a little ball until you're satisfied with how it looks. So to attach the pom-pom to the hat, it's very simple. So grab your yarn needle, grab some yarn and pull through. And we're gonna go from the bottom of the hat into the middle, go in, grab the pom-pom, go through the middle, pull it together and go back down. Make sure you don't go back into the same exact spot or it will just unravel. Like this. Go into the hat. Come out from the other side. Like this. Now we can turn our hat so it's easy. Grab these two ends and tie them together. I'll just tie it a few times so it's really secure. And there you go. And now we can make a little thing here so you can hang off the tree. So we can grab the same end if it's enough. If not, you can start with a new yarn. It doesn't matter. Grab your needle again, go through, go back into the ball, pull, go back down, and leave a loop. So don't put it all the way through, just leave a bit of a loop like this. And let's go back inside and tie these two again. But make sure you don't pull on it so the other side doesn't come out. Just tie it on the spot and just cut it off. You could also weave this in through the back here to make it more secure. If not, you can just cut it off. Turn your hat to the right side. pull up your little brim.